Hello, PBMA community. This is Brendan Agassar for the Wavemakers, bringing you closer to the action and stories happening within our school community. Let's dive into our quick updates for this week, December 1st to December 5th, 2025. Here's Marissa and Sophia for Shark Bites.
Hey Sharks, it's Marissa.
And Sophia.
And here are some quick Shark updates. Don't miss your chance to capture the memories. The 2025 yearbook is on sale for just $34 each. Secondary campus, go to yearbookordercenter.com and remember to use the code 26591 when ordering. Secure your copy before the price goes up.
Sharks, remember all cell phones and electronic devices must be placed in your yonder pouches during the first period and kept there throughout the entire day. This helps avoid class disruptions and keeps everyone focused on learning. Let's stay present, stay focused, and keep our classrooms distraction-free.
A quick reminder about the 10-10 rule. No passing during the first or last 10 minutes of class. Let's stay focused and make every minute a learning count.
Sharks, don't forget to subscribe to PBMA's official YouTube channel where you can see all the Wavemakers episodes. Like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.
And that's it for our quick Shark updates. Back to you, Brandon.
Now it's time for our Shark Sports Update.
The PBMA girls basketball team earned an impressive victory on Monday, defeating Franklin PBG 21-8. The Sharks showcased strong teamwork and defensive pressure throughout the game. Carly Godoy led the team with 9 points, while Selena added 8, helping push PBMA to another decisive win. With this victory, the Sharks improved their record to 4-1 and remain firmly in first place. The team continues to build momentum as they move forward in the season. Go Sharks! The Lady Sharks won the last game of the regular season on Wednesday with a win over Somerset DBK 6-5. It was a slow-scoring game, but Selena Aragundi scored 4 points in the first half. Carly Godoy made 2 game-winning free throws with 1 minute left on the clock. The Sharks finished the season 5-1 and are the #1 seed heading into the next week's playoffs. PBMA boys soccer team won their home match against Franklin PBG Tuesday this week, with Mason Cunningham as goalkeeper. Nalin Flores had 2 goals, Joel Perez 2, Eduardo Moran 1, and Calvin Clairvoyant had 3 goals for a hat trick. The final score was 8-1. The boys are now 4-3-1 on the season.
Stay tuned for highlights, game scores, and upcoming matches as our athletes continue to show teamwork, dedication, and Shark pride. This week, we're going to be talking about text structure. Text structure is a way to keep your ideas organized and clear. Stay tuned as we break down ways to correctly use text structure to help emphasize your points and give your essays a more professional feeling. Here's Aaliyah for Brainwave.
Hey Sharks, welcome back to another episode of Brainwave, where we break down the strategies to help you think smarter, read stronger, and learn better. I'm Aaliyah, and today we're unlocking one of the most powerful tools in reading, text structure. Text structure is basically the blueprint of a passage. Authors use different structures to organize ideas, and when you can spot those patterns, it becomes way easier to understand what you're reading, find evidence, and answer questions quickly. Here are the 5 most common text structures you should look for. Cause and effect. It answers the questions, what happened and why it happened. Look for clue words like because, as a result, and therefore. Compare and contrast. This looks for details on how things are alike or different. Watch for words such as similarly, however, and on the other hand. Sequence and chronological order. Answer the questions what happened first, next, and last. Clue words include first, next, then, and finally. Problem and solution. This explores the details about what's wrong and how is it fixed. You'll see words like problem, solution, issue, and resolved. Finally, description. It answers the question, what does something look like or include? Look for lots of details, adjectives, and examples. When you're reading, pause and ask yourself, what structure is the author using? Once you spot it, everything else, main idea, summarizing, evidence, becomes way easier. So this week, challenge yourself. Identify the text structure in at least one article, story, or passage you read. Trust me, your brain will thank you, and so will your test scores. That's it for today's Brainwave. Keep reading with purpose, thinking with clarity, and making waves of excellence. See you next time.
Stay sharp and keep making waves of success with Brainwave. Now it's time to check out what the skies have in store. Here's Alberto Medina with this week's Weather Watch, bringing you the latest updates so you're ready for anything, rain or shine.
Hello PBMA community, welcome back to the Weather Watch, where I give the latest forecast for the next 6 days. Today, sun and clouds mixed together, highs in the low to mid 80s. Winds around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of rain near 5%. Tonight, clouds from time to time. Lows in the high 60s. Winds light and variable. Chance of rain near 0%. And now it is time for our 6-day summary forecast. Saturday will be a hot day with temperatures in the high to mid 80s and lows in the 70s. Sunday won't be as hot with temperatures in the mid 80s and a high chance of thunderstorms in the afternoon. Starting Monday, temperatures will remain in the high to mid 70s and high to low 60s as a cold front come down to South Florida. In some other news, for the first time in a decade, not a single hurricane or tropical storm struck the United States East Coast. The last time this happened was, of course, 2015. This year also had some rare events, such as the Fujiwara effect between Hurricane Imelda and Hurricane Humberto. These two danced together and moved away from the United States East Coast, saving the Carolinas and Georgia from direct impact from Hurricane Imelda. Florida was also spared as many storms were so close from striking it, but never moved close, either hitting the Caribbean or up into the Bermuda Triangle. That's our weather forecast for today. Sharks, remember, our weather can be unpredictable, so be ready for anything. I'm Alberto Medina, your school weatherman. Back to you, Brandon.
Up next, we're joined by Mr. Kelly, our awesome math teacher, to share how he got students to a higher level of mathematical thinking. Let's hear what he has to say for how he keeps math exciting in the classroom. Here's Alexis Olsen for Leading with Purpose.
Hello, Sharks, and welcome back to Leading with Purpose, the segment where we highlight PBMA staff who inspire, guide, and empower our students every day. Today, I'm excited to sit down with Mr. Kelly, our math teacher and girls basketball coach. He's known for motivating students in the classroom and also helping athletes grow on and off the court. Thank you for joining us today, Mr. Kelly.
You're welcome. It is my pleasure.
I do have a few questions for you. Mr. Kelly, to start us off, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what inspired you to become both a math teacher and a basketball coach?
Sure. Definitely, I would say it goes back to growing up. I was surrounded by two things, and it was math and sports. And it is all thanks to my father. My father, actually, he's an engineer, and he did a double major in computer and electrical engineering. And he was very passionate. He was very passionate about both his work and his sports teams. And this is something that he just passed on to me at a very early age. I can remember when I was in kindergarten, my dad was already showing me advanced math topics for that age, like multiplication and division. And it's just something that came naturally to me growing up. By the time I was in high school, I was actually in the #1 ranked high school in Puerto Rico, which specialized in math and science. And eventually I had a friend reach out to me asking for tutoring. And it was successful, and he recommended me to his friend. And then his friend recommended me to a stranger. And then all of a sudden, I'm like the local math tutor guy, and again, like I mentioned, something that just happened, And by the time I was 20, 21, I said, you know what, I'm going to lean into this. I'm going to get my certifications, and I'm actually going to become a math teacher. As far as coaching, I've always been surrounded by sports, whether it's on the court or behind the scenes. I even did a master's in sports journalism, but it wasn't until 2019 where I actually had an opportunity to coach for the first time. And that's when I realized, coaching and teaching is like two sides of a coin for me. It's something that it just happens naturally. And that's why I can teach that on to others.
What motivated you to join PBMA, and what makes this school community special to you?
Well, this is a little bit funny because it was actually my mom around Christmas of 2023. I was visiting, and she was watching a video on Facebook about PBMA. There's like this famous video on Facebook circulating. She was like, oh wow, like she really liked that school. And what I absorbed from that video was, wow, that school's culture, their values, they're very aligned with my own values. And at the moment, like I said, I was getting my certifications. So it was, again, something that just happened naturally. And one thing led to the other. I got certified. I saw the posting. I applied. Next thing you know, I get the call, and the rest is history.
As the girls' basketball coach, what core values or lessons do you hope your athletes carry with them beyond the court?
I think as a coach, it really depends on your team. Like, every team is unique, so every team will have their own values. So as a coach, it is my job to identify what is that core value or core values for my team. And for this girls basketball team, I created something which is called the 3DS system. Yes, 3 Ds and 1 S, right? And it's defense, discipline, determination, and scoring. Defense, because it's about protecting your values. It's about protecting your team goals. It's about protecting the basket, Discipline, because it's about consistency. It's about showing up even when it's difficult. And determination, because it's all about grit. At the end of the day, it's about pushing forward even on difficult times. And my S, scoring, because like I told the girls, yes, we have good defense, but we need even better scoring.
What does purposeful leadership mean to you, whether you're teaching math or coaching your team?
I think purposeful leadership is about being intentional with your influence, whether it's on the classroom or at the court. How can I lead by example? By being passionate, by being patient, and by showing integrity. How can Mr. Kelly help you in geometry? How can Coach Kelly help you on the basketball court? That's what purposeful leadership is all about.
And finally, what advice would you give students who want to lead with purpose in their own lives?
Advice, I would say, very similar to me. Find something that you're passionate about. And once you know what it is, double down on that. It's not about titles. It's not about recognition. It's about consistency. It's about hard work. It's about how can you impact the lives of others. I think that's how somebody can find their purpose in life. Apply that to any team, to anywhere that you're leading. Find something that you're passionate about and lead with that example.
Well, Mr. Kelly, thank you so much for sharing your story and for the impact you make every day at PBMA. And thank you, Sharks, for watching this episode of Leading with Purpose. Stay tuned, more inspiring conversations. And remember, leadership starts with how you choose to show up every day. See you next time.
We also interviewed our enthusiastic coach Lefebvre, who's known for making physical education something fun instead of a hassle, helping the Sharks lead a life of fitness in and outside of school. Here's Zoe Covedo for The Lighthouse.
Hi Sharks, welcome back to the Lighthouse, where we shine a light on the people who help guide and inspire our school community. Today I'm here with someone many of you know and admire, Coach Lefebvre. He's not only a coach, but also a member who motivates students to become their best selves. Thank you for joining us, Coach.
Thank you for having me.
My first question for you is, what inspired you to begin coaching and what continues to motivate you to work with students every day?
So I was a baseball player my whole life, and once I got out of that, my son, I found that he was passionate about playing soccer. So I really loved coaching him for that. And also just seeing the students grow, seeing them reach a goal and the light on their faces when they discover something about like what they did good in their sport or their goal. So
That's nice. That's amazing. Here's my next question. What is one important life lesson you hope students take away from your program or your practices?
So it may sound cliche, but I would say never give up, because sometimes you're like right at the cusp of reaching something and you might have failed right before, but you don't know the next time you try could be the time you succeed. So never give up. I mean, as cliched as it sounds, that next time it's right around the corner reaching your goal.
And finally, if you could give one piece of advice to students who want to grow both in and out of school, what would it be?
So I'd say create small goals for yourself along the way to reaching a big goal like that graduation or that job that you want. The small goals are going to get you there each and every day, and it takes discipline to do that. So develop like a time strategy for yourself, some discipline, and if you do little things along the way, you'll be happy with that, and then it'd be great once you reach the end.
Thank you, Coach. Coach Lefebvre, thank you so much for sharing your insights and for everything you do for our students. And thank you, Sharks, for tuning in to this episode of The Lighthouse. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay connected to all the things PBMA. See you next time.
And now for a quote of the week. If you fell down yesterday, stand up today. That's it for this week's Wave Makers. Sharks, always remember to reflect our shark mentality by being safe, respectful, and responsible. Again, this is Brandon Agasar for the Wave Makers.